by a score of 5-3. And this is the beautiful team trophy that the teams are competing for. The winning team will be the recipient of that good-looking award, the National Collegiate Fencing Championship team. This is how things stand at the moment. In first place, Wayne State of Michigan. In second place, the University of Pennsylvania. In third place, MIT. Number 4 is Cleveland State, and number 5 is Clemson. And you are looking at the right of your screen, Seraj Allali from Ohio State. He will be going up against Vladimir Zlobinsky from Columbia. Once again, Bruno, as we look at Allali, a little bit of international flavor. Although the youngsters are from United States colleges, Zlobinsky right there, a native of Kiran, Israel. And Seraj Allali is from Iran.
Zlobinsky started his training in Russia before his family immigrated to Israel. And while in Israel, he was junior foil and epee champion. And now is on his way to a possible All-American championship.
That's right. So for the people in the New York area and in the East, that is your guy on the left, Vladimir Zlobinsky from Columbia. And for our friends watching on ESPN in the Midwest, I guess you'll be cheering for Seraj Allali, the Buckeye from Ohio State. Zlobinsky straightening out the cable, and we are ready to fence. Zlobinsky scores the first touch. He leads 1-0. And again, just to remind you, as you see the light going on Allali's side of the score, it simply means that in fencing, it's a touch against. So the touch was against Allali. But in terms of us feeding you the information, it's much simpler and easier if we just say 1-0 in favor of the toucher,
That's
not the
right.
touchee.
That's
right.
right.
Zlobinsky was the toucher.
Modern epee has taken on a lot of the qualities of foil, and by that I mean we see a lot of playing off the blades and parry repost in order to score touches, rather than just trying for touches on the hand and the wrist.
You're looking at director Erwin Bernstein from New York City, who did his fencing at Zlobinsky's college, Columbia. And the delay, just momentarily, here we go.
Zlobinsky being set up on what's called the 2-meter line. That was a nice flesh attack by Allali. Score a touch on Zlobinsky. Allali setting up. You could see him deceive the blade. He goes around Zlobinsky's blade and scores.
Bruno, explain setting up on the 2-meter line, just what it means.
Well, we discussed some of that in foil, which means in foil we use it on a 1-meter line. In epee, fencer is warned at the 2-meter line, and if he goes off the end of the strip with both feet, it would be a touch against him.
Okay.
And just like in foil, he can regain his ground by crossing the on-guard line at the center of the strip.
We're going to see Allali with his second touch in this bout.
Allali suddenly comes forward, goes under the arm, and you can see the green light up as he touches Zlobinsky in the flank.
So it's 2-1 in favor of Allali of Ohio State. That is he, Allali, facing us. Zlobinsky with his back to the camera.
Allali moves well. He's a strong fencer. I know that Zlobinsky likes to be the aggressor in most of his bouts, yet Allali seems to be controlling the tempo and keeping him off guard.
Allali's record going into this is 16-4. Zlobinsky doing extremely well, 17-2.
Excellent parry repost by Zlobinsky. Good old-fashioned foil move in epee. Allali comes forward. Zlobinsky will take the blade with a parry. There it is. It's called a 4-parry in fencing. And you'll see the repost.
And he ties it, Bruno, at 2-all. We're back live. And just to remind you that all of this coming to you over ESPN, your total sports cable network.
Again, Zlobinsky relying on a parry repost.
So 3-2 in favor of Zlobinsky. The Lion leading the Buckeye at the moment.
I can't remember, Bob, when the last time a fencer was called a Lion or a
Lion
Buckeye.
and a Buckeye. Well, we said before, in addition to the individual rewards, they are going for that team trophy, which we showed you before. So far, Wayne State has maintained its hold on first place.
And seems to have gained some ground from what I could see on the score.
And we'll be looking at one of their fine epee men.
Allali very active on the strip. The 1-minute warning has just been given. With Zlobinsky ahead 3-2, there's now 1 minute left to fence.
A little discussion, Bruno. What's this all about?
There seems to, from what I can see, Bob, there seems to be some question about keeping of the time. Bernstein is discussing it with the scorers table, some of the side officials.
There is Seraj Allali, a junior from Ohio State who is from Iran. Zlobinsky is leading by a score of 3-2 if we get fencing again.
This may be a good chance for me to tell the folks who are not that familiar with fencing, Bob, that a lot of times the misconception that people have about the sport is they think of it in terms of a ballet or a dance because of its grace and beauty. But in fact, these fencers have to be well-trained athletes. There's a lot of strength and speed and flexibility and endurance involved in fencing. And I think it should be thought of more in terms of being a martial art.
Mm-hmm.
And one which requires a lot of effort and exertion.
It also seems like a good means, Bruno, of other athletes perhaps using fencing as a beneficial means to quicker footwork, hand-eye coordination.
Absolutely. A lot of the foot exercises that fencers use, I think, are now used by other athletes to stretch, to quicken their reaction time, and speed of foot.
All right, a momentary delay while they straighten out some equipment once again, and I think we are ready to go. Let's see. Yes, Zlobinsky will be on the 2-meter warning line. He is leading 3-2. And we're about set to go, I think.
Are they wrong?
He had it reversed.
It's reversed.
Yeah, 3-2, Zlobinsky on the left leads.
Both fencers active on their feet, as they should be.
I think that Allali is claiming that he made a touch, or that something is wrong with his blade.
What Erwin Bernstein, I think, is trying to see is whether the wire on the epee, which runs along a groove from the tip into the guard, is exposed. I mean, sometimes if the opponent's point touches the wire, it will register as a valid touch. But that's the fencer's responsibility to make sure that that's not happening. Again, Zlobinsky with a parry repost. Allali will make his attack to the, and Zlobinsky parries, covers the line, and makes a repost. Nice touch.
And the score is 4-2 in favor of Zlobinsky of Colombia. Yes. Again, Vladimir Zlobinsky comes through. Once again, let's see that final touch. Bruno.
Allali looks like he's setting up. He's bouncing up and down. He's looking for that opening. Zlobinsky holding his ground, sweeping the line. There's Zlobinsky's parry, and there's the repost. That's a clear touch. Very, very well done.